I have 6:59, so I'm going to go ahead and start the live stream.
Okay.
All right, that is live.
What do I do?
All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. As we've been supposed to let everybody know that this meeting is being held electronically in compliance with the Open Meetings Act, as Isabella County is currently operating under a local state of emergency. This act was adopted by resolution number 20-12-03 by the Isabella County Board of Commissioners. So, let's have the Pledge of Allegiance now, if we could, Ray. Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
of the United States of America
America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic for
for
which it stands,
one nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
for all.
Boy, that's a trick doing that with everybody's voice coming through your
Yeah.
earphone.
Here's some, but not
Still
all.
working on my timing.
Yeah. Okay, so we are being recorded and live streamed. So this will end up being, this whole meeting will be on the website for posterity's sake, long term. We're going to do roll call votes for the special use permits, site plans, and that kind of thing. Just voice votes for the other items. There are people have the option of calling in and listening. I don't know, Ray, do we have anybody?
We don't have anybody at this point in time.
Okay, so when the public meeting section comes up, we'll let them in if they're there. Okay, so we need a roll call. So would, if you would state your name, where you're at, and well, I guess state your name where you're at. So
Commissioner O'Neill,
Tim O'Neill, President, Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Commissioner Bean,
present, Vernon Township.
Commissioner Vogel,
Present in Denver Township.
Commissioner Nyer,
There you go.
Present.
Commissioner
Lincoln
Nyer.
Township.
okay.
Sorry.
Commissioner Brookins,
Present, Rollin Township.
Commissioner Silker,
Present, Gilmore Township.
Commissioner Camp,
It looks like Commissioner Camp dropped off. I'm not sure if he'll be back.
okay. Commissioner Swaney,
Present, attending in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Okay, that everybody? So we have an agenda. Is any staff, is there any changes or adjustments to the agenda?
We have no changes.
All right, so I'd entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved. Nyer.
All right,
Support.
Second, O'Neill.
okay, so move in a second. Voice vote, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Okay, the minutes from last week's meeting. Take a chance. You know, if you haven't had looked them over, take a minute to look them over now, and we'd entertain a motion and a second to approve the minutes, or anybody has any changes that need to be made. Now is the time to bring them up.
Nyer, motion to accept minutes as printed.
Vogel second.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Okay, motion carries. In the past, we've been running the township concerns section up with the public comment. So let's bump ahead to the public comment, initial public comment section of this meeting. Is there
Mr.
anybody-
Chairman, we do have liaison reports.
Oh, I jumped over those, didn't I? Sorry about that. Liaison reports. Phil, ZBA.
We have not had a meeting, so there's nothing to report.
Okay. Parks and Rec.
The Parks and Rec met on the 6th of October. Unfortunately, I was traveling during that time and was unable to attend, so I have nothing to report.
Okay. And Commissioner Swaney, what's going on with the Board of Commissioners?
We met October 5th for a regular Board of Commissioners meeting, and say items of interest. We did approve to hire a contract with the Resource Systems Group to do the sound study for the Isabella Wind Farm. We put this group's approval forward, and then also we approved property access for Dow Chemical to plug a brine well. And we recognized Karen Jackson's work in Register of the Year 2021.
Oh, nice. All right. Any plans for the county building opening up in the near future? For these kind of meetings?
Yeah, we talk about it, and it's been, pushed off again for at least to the end of the year.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be lifting the emergency, or what, I think we'd have to actually revote to install the emergency at the beginning of January
Okay.
meeting.
Got it. All right. Thank you. Okay, now we're at the public comment section with the township concerns.
We did have, staff did have a note from Jackie Curtis, trustee of Denver Township, that everything is doing fine there in Denver Township, and she is planning to watch the meeting tonight.
Okay.
Other than that,
All right.
Mr. Chairman, there's no other public on the call with us.
Okay. All right, we'll close the public comment section. Okay, moving on to other business, non-public hearing. We have a site plan review number 21-13. Ray, if you'd want to talk us through that, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. So as the chairman said, this is site plan review number 21-13. It's for BMC Investments, submitted by Mr. Robert or Bob Rao. It's in Sherman Township, section 242532 North School Road. Mr. Rouse submitted the site plan review application for a 60 by 100 foot equipment storage building. The site, as I said, is on North School Road, south of the village of Wademan. It's in the industrially zoned property, the light industrial. It's on the very southern edge of that industrial district up there. We got the application, which included a site plan as well as a description of the use for the proposed building. It indicates that this is an existing engine assembly operation, and that the storage building would be used to store engine components and engines and parts for future assembly. It being an accessory structure to a use that's permitted, this building is permitted by right, and therefore requires just a site plan approval and is not a public hearing. Currently, there are 3 buildings on the property. Let me bring up the site plan. There's 3 buildings currently on the property: an office building here to the west, an assembly/mechanical building here in the middle, and an assembly building Here, the proposed building, the 60 by 100 building would be the easternmost building on the property as highlighted and noted by staff. One thing to note on this property, it is currently made up of 2 tax parcels. And one of those property lines or tax parcel lines actually runs directly through where this storage building would be. It doesn't pose a concern for this application, as I note in your staff report. Section 3.12 basically allows for contiguous parcels with same ownership to be looked at as a single parcel. And so setbacks are well within those that are required by ordinance after applying this section. So there's no concern of this being 2 separate tax parcels. I just wanted to note that in case anybody saw that and had questions. It's not shown on the site plan, but I do want to call to the Planning Commission's attention. There is some existing screening on the southern edge of the property. It actually is between the employee parking area here and the south property line. And it basically runs from approximately the front edge of this office to the back edge of this easternmost assembly building. Runs right down here along the south property line. I spoke to Mr. Rao by phone about some additional screening because of the construction of this storage building. There is a home down here to the south of this property. And he agreed that he'd be willing to install some additional screening. And so in the summary of your staff report, staff has put in a recommended condition, which would basically install or require the installation of some screening right down here to the south, and that would effectively screen the activity from the property to the south, which is being used as for residential purposes. One other thing I wanted to note is that there are 2 dumpsters currently on the property that the facility uses. Staff has taken a look at the screening to the north. It's effectively screened by the assembly building to the south, and we don't have any concerns as far as the location of those existing dumpsters. And so we don't feel any additional screening or requirements would need to be made to address those dumpsters. Staff is of the opinion that there's no concerns with those dumpsters there. In your staff report, we've given you the zoning ordinance language, as we always do, section 1106 standards for site plan review. It's A 1 through 6, excuse me, 1 through 5. In summary, staff has reviewed the site plan in detail, and it appears to meet all ordinance requirements with the inclusion of the recommended condition for some screening. And as we always do, staff has provided a checklist for the Planning Commission to review. The Planning Commission is going to make an approval on the request. We would recommend the stipulation or the condition be placed upon the approval, and I'll go ahead and read that for you. Screening shall be installed and maintained along the south property line, beginning at the east end of the assembly building and running east for 100 feet. Screening shall be in the form of a staggered double row of evergreen trees planted 10 feet on center and shall be a minimum of 3 feet in height. With that condition, staff has nothing else for this. As I said, it's a storage building for an industrial use on an industrial piece of property to be used for industrial purposes. And so, like I said, it does appear to meet all aspects of the ordinance. So if you don't have any questions for me, that's all that staff has for this.
Okay. See, Mr. Rao, I assume as a representative is here. If you have any comments or anything you'd like to add.
Mr. Rao, just be sure you do unmute your microphone.
Okay, set. All right.
Hello.
Nope, I don't have any questions or anything. I know I can take care of that screening without an issue.
All right, perfect. Good. So does any commission members have any questions for staff or Mr. Rao? Okay. Hearing none, would entertain a motion and a second regarding this application.
Dyer, I move that to approve the site plan review 21-13, provided that the screen, aforementioned screen, is put in place as recommended by staff.
Second, Swaney.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Kim, could you do a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Silker,
Yes.
Commissioner Brookins,
Yes.
Commissioner Nyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Bean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Camp.
Yes.
8 yes, motion carries.
All right. Good enough.
I do have a question.
Yes.
What's my timeline on installing that screen?
Right.
Being that we're getting close to the end of the planning season, if it can't be put up yet this year, then we certainly can work with you on getting it up at an acceptable point in the spring to get it in. Normally, we like to see it put in before a building is utilized, but we understand and are sensitive to the planting season up here in Michigan. It's a little shorter than usual.
Okay, not a problem. And you said the minimum height's 3 foot?
Minimum height is 3 foot, yes.
Okay, thank you.
I will, I'll get with you tomorrow by phone, and we'll be sure to get that stipulation to you. It'll be on the permit that you receive, so you'll have clear understanding of that. Certainly, you can contact me with any questions.
Thanks.
All right. Next item, Union Township text amendment.
Yeah, this is a text amendment from Union Township. It's quite a large packet of information to go through. So what I'd like to do is just kind of briefly go through my staff report, which provides you an outline. We got the text amendment from the Community and Economic Development Director, Mr. Rodney Nanny over at Union Township. He sent a really nice outline for the County Planning Commission, which gives quite a bit of detail on the proposed amendments. But in summary, these are to correct a few grammatical and typographical errors that were made when the Union Township updated its ordinance in 2020. In addition to those, they're adding several definitions, some updates to uses which are permitted in various zoning districts. They broke a few uses apart, eliminated a few uses, and kind of cleaned up some of their language, as well as made in general some amendments to other standards within their zoning ordinance. Their planning commission did hold a public hearing on these amendments on September 21st, and they did make a recommendation to their township board to approve these amendments. Sent over a copy of the public hearing, and like I said, a really nice staff report from Union Township with detailed the amendments as well as the text printout of the amendments. If there's no questions or concerns, again, it's just a review and consensus item. If there's no concerns or comments, we'll send a letter back to Union Township letting them know that the County Planning Commission has reviewed it. Staff didn't have any concerns or questions for Union Township when we went through it. So.
All right. Any comments? Okay.
All right.
Looks like it's good to
We'll get a
go.
letter back to them.
Perfect.
Okay, it brings us up to the next public comment section. Is there any public waiting out there?
No public on the meeting with us at this point.
All right. So it brings us to staff comments.
Staff does have one comment. Like I said at the beginning of the meeting, Tim sends his apologies for not being able to be here this evening. He has a couple of other pressing matters he had to deal with. But one thing that we wanted to bring to the Planning Commission's attention, next month in November, the regularly scheduled Planning Commission meeting falls on Veterans Day, November 11th, Thursday, November 11th. The county building is closed for that day. And so staff is not in the office that day. Excuse me. Originally, we were just going to cancel the meeting. However, we have received a rezoning request and they would like it to be heard in November. And so what we'd actually like to do, rather than trying to pull together a special meeting, is just if everybody could take a look at their calendars real quick, if you have them available. We'd like to see if we can reschedule rather than cancel and redo a new meeting, but just reschedule the November 11th meeting for the following Thursday. That would be November 18th. If everybody could take a moment and just look and see if you'd be available on November 18th at 7 p.m. for a planning commission meeting so we can hold a public hearing for the applicant. If we have at least 5, then we have a quorum, but we'd love to have everybody there. And if we have enough members that can be at that meeting, then the chair could just reschedule that meeting for us.
Can be there.
I can be there.
I can be there.
Good.
I'll need to
All right,
let
Adam,
you
I didn't
know.
hear if you were available.
Ann, what did you say?
I'll have to let Ray know tomorrow.
Okay.
I need
No
to double
problem.
check something.
I should be able to be there.
Camp should be available.
Great. Okay, it sounds like that's the majority of the members present, or all of the members present at least, and with the exception of Ms. Silker, and I'll speak to her tomorrow. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if we can reschedule the meeting for the 18th at 7, that would be helpful for the applicant, and we can get them taken care of.
So do we need a motion for that, or
No, the
is this
chair
enough?
just can reschedule the meeting at
Okay.
this point. You have the ability to cancel or reschedule a meeting.
Well, let's go ahead and reschedule for the,
I'll be sure to get an email out later this week or next week with that information. And I'll be sure to send a couple of email reminders as we get closer to the date, as well as
Good.
that week, just so that it's fresh in front of everybody.
it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Planning commissioner comments. Adam?
None.
None? Ann?
No, not tonight.
Okay. Jerry?
I'm good.
Okay. Phil?
I'm all good. Need some dry weather.
Yeah, no lie
Amen.
there. Steve?
Just want to always reiterate, thank you for your service working on these commissions. Takes a lot of effort. That's it.
Oh. All right, appreciate that. Tim?
No comments.
Okay, and Kyle?
No comments. I think I missed roll call with a internet glitch, so I want to make sure I was here. And then I look forward to the in-person meetings and would encourage the bodies that can make that decision to move quickly with that where appropriate.
I agree.
Oh,
So do I.
Here, here.
I'll bring that back to the commission.
Okay, good.
Good luck.
I don't have any comments myself, so at that point, meeting is adjourned. So see everybody on the 18th.
On the
18th.
18th. Thank you all.
Bye,
so much.
everybody.
All right, see ya.
Here.